Yeah, no, they're going to the restroom, but they send us away on the bus. It's like a corner to the other half. They have to give
Mama John. Take one.
I'm not going to space. Oh wait, I can't do that. Hollywood Drift.
It looks like they're still building it.
There's your hot course. Look at that. It's the whole castle and everything. That is crazy. Oh my God.
TC charities on 3 compact discs. Roll the man down, mateys. Roll the man down. Roll, roll, roll your boat in the Navy. Come on, join your fellow. And now get a bonus CD. Hornpipe Beaver.
Brookyard long, 2 lanes wide, 65 tons of American pride. Canyon Road, Canyon Road. Top of the line in utility sports. Unexplained buyers are back to the courts. Canyon Road, Canyon Road.
Very good.
The best thing about this box is it contains people's misery. Somebody's going to walk all the way out to the car, then realize they don't have their keys. Hey, look, it's Homer's driver's license. 185 pounds. Who's trying to
I get you. I do that with sewing in the Mario Cafe the other day. They have you embroidery. I'm like, can I take a picture of that on your screen? Because look, I know that might be weird, like doing the close up with the other way. So I'm also doing that. Right, so you look at I see you too.
Congratulations! The line's almost over. Only 45 more minutes. Just kidding. I have no idea how much longer it is. So here to entertain you are Itchy and Scratchy.
Hey, those are just 2 drunks who fished out of the gutter.
That's a lie!
So,
You're fired. Leave the suit. Go! Keep the suit!
you know, I appreciate you nice people because, you know.
One word of warning that may mar your otherwise enjoyable day in my park. There's a psychopathic killer on the loose. His name is Sideshow Bob, and he used to work for me. For some reason, he hates me. Then Bob tried to frame me for robbery, and he was foiled by the Simpsons. And now he's vowed to kill them all, even the baby. 6 months ago, Bob escaped from the Springfield Penitentiary.
He is rumored to be in the vicinity of this park, but rest assured, my Cracker Jack security team has everything under control.
I'm sorry, does anyone know which end the bullet goes in?
Like, how do you expect to maybe get on the video? Yeah. And I ruined their moment. The previous first time that Universal visitor
Now, which lucky family will be the first to go on my thrilling new ride? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Make it quick, I gotta go to the little clown's room, so the family that will see my show is the one who hollers, go! Fine, you're in. Come with me. Oh, and you can pick one other group to come with you.
How about these guys?
Sure, whatever. They look clean. You guys come with me. You stay here and wait for someone to tell you to do something.
Yes, I also told her for a while. Just about.
Alright, we'll be sending you down your hallway to get into the ride soon. Like less than 5 minutes, less than probably like 2. So, if you have questions, comments, concerns, let me know. I'm here to help. Just be like, yeah, Adrian! If you get that reference, good job. That's all.
Only 45 more minutes. Just kidding.
Observe. Oh, the growling. Now, if a human being were to enter that room, who knows what events might occur you like. They could grow 50 feet tall, or 3 extra arms, or an eye where their nose should be, which is painful.
Hey, Nerdenheimer, don't you have a test tube to polish?
Yes, I do actually, but you denied my request for test tube polish. I've been using rainwater in my shirt tail.
Get out of here! Here we are at the vehicle boarding station.
I'm sorry, sir. People with heart conditions may not ride.
Why, I'm in the best shape I've ever... Oh, heart attack! Been in my life. I feel like a 20-year-old massive aneurysm. How it outside?
Oh, you can watch Maggie.
You can enjoy each other's nonsense. You don't say. Well, back in my day, people never had to go to water without you. Well, Maggie, looks like I'll be taken care of. Wow, we're the first people to ever ride this baby. We're like that space guy who did that moon thing.
Neil Armstrong?
No, Chewbacca.
Now enjoy the Ferris wheel. Or whatever this is. What do you want?
A dish best served cold. Is it ice cream?
No revenge.
We're on vacation. Can't you kill me on a work day?
Simpsons, get in that ride.
Forget it, Bob. We'll never... Dad.
I waited in line an hour for this thing and I'm pregnant. Now hop in.
Now the last thing you'll ever see.
A legally required safety.
Here are some brief guidelines to ensure a safe and pleasant experience. When the doors open, move immediately into the vehicle boarding station. Walk, don't run. Proceed to the left and right side of the vehicle. We ask that you place all large or fragile items, including cameras and video recorders, against the wall outside the vehicle, and hold on to all loose articles. Take your seats in an orderly fashion, and please watch your head as you enter the vehicle. If you have difficulty dealing with small spaces, make the crusty crew member aware of this before entering the vehicle. Once you are seated, please pull down on the lap bar. Please remain seated and face forward while the vehicle is in motion. Keep your arms and legs clear of the closing doors and inside the vehicle at all times. No still or motion picture photography of any kind is allowed. Thanks for your attention. Enjoy the ride.
I've taken over every area of the park. There's no place you'll be safe from me. And now, enjoy a ride that's about to be demolished while you're riding it.
A roller coaster. Sweetie, they won't kill you in an amusement park as long as you have a dime left in your pocket.
There's nothing you can do. You're about to die.
You sound like my doctor.
Unexpected. So anyway, where are you all?
Not only are you not killing us, I'm having fun. Oh, that's a load of corporate. Oh, you stick flying that way. Hey, I can see our car. You guys haven't seen a giant steel ball, have you? You don't want to hurt me, Ball. We're both big and round and never finished high school.
Welcome to a magical journey through my mouth. You're all gonna die.
The kiddie ride. Oh, made for safe.
Panda begs to differ. You shut up. Say we.
Alone at last.
I'm trying to kill the kids.
It just gets better and better.
Bear a piece of advice. This is every temptation I place in order.
Did fear hurt anybody? Uh-oh. I hate chain reactions.
You spoiled my plans for the last time. Now!
You soiled your pants for the last time? We'll save you! I'm gonna take you away!
Hey, that exit sign leads to an exit. Stay away from the ramp. I'm being rammed.
Now for the unkindest cut of all.
The radiation did to Maggie!
Boy, they go up so fast.
I'll give you back your pacifier if you destroy Springfield.
I'm not gonna change that diaper. Home sweet. No! Foolish earthlings, don't you know all rides must end near the gift shop? My bosoms are snapping my face!
This must be the part where they take your picture. Okay?
Smile. 5 seconds to kill somebody. Hello, folks.
What a horrible nightmare! Thank God this ride is over. Let's go again! I want to go again!
Well, that's all right. Hey, what does this do?
Ah, vamos para allá, pero niño.
Alrighty guys, straight across, all aboard. Go, 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 go.
Show. If you've taken the studio tour before, you may know that we have a famous neighborhood out here that we used as Wisteria Lane for Desperate Housewives. Yes, yes, yes. I'll tell you we won't go there today because they're filming there today. They're filming a new TV show based on the 1988 film called The Burbs with Tom Hanks, Carrie Fisher, and Corey Feldman. They're filming a Burbs television show which will star Keke Palmer. So, you never know who or what you might see. Keep your eyes peeled while we're out there. We got the go-ahead, which means it is time to leave. Wave goodbye to all the people still standing in line. It's only another hour and a half until the next tram comes. You'll be fine. No, I'm just kidding. I have no idea how long it's going to be. Now, my name is Michael. I am your tour guide. Audra is your driver. We have one other person who's joining us on this tour today. You might know him as the host of The Tonight Show. It's Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, hey there. You made it. Welcome to the Universal Studio Tour. I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll be making sure you get through this experience in one piece. You've got the very best guide.
Michael.
And the greatest driver.
Audra.
They're the best. I love it. Even though
Michael
owes me $5. I know you guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
I don't know about that $5. I do know about the safety rules. First, if you need guest assistance, or if you have a medical emergency, or if you drop something of value off the side of the tram, or if you have any sound or video issues, reach up and grab the red emergency cord that runs along the center of the ceiling of the tram, and I'll be back to assist you as soon as it's safe to do so. Otherwise, during the entire tour, please remain seated, keeping your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times. The studio is private property, and if at any time during the tour you drop your phone or just can't wait to use the restroom, pull the cord and remain seated. Please, no smoking of any kind during the tour. Be prepared, our tour today features loud noises, fire effects, many water effects. You'll want to have your cameras out, but secure them so they don't get wet. There's also sudden tram movements, so secure your personal belongings. And finally, for your safety and the safety of those aboard, please do not use selfie sticks. And with that, we are leaving the theme park behind and we are entering into the film and television studio. Now, if you've been in the theme park before or earlier today, you may have noticed that all of our rides are based on hit film franchises, like the Fast and Furious. We're building the Fast and Furious coaster over here to your left-hand side, which looks amazing. It will open early 2026. Off to your right, you'll see Super Nintendo World as well. Why are all of our movies based off of iconic film franchises? Well, because first and foremost, we are a movie studio, and we have been making movies here for 110 years. That's right. We opened our doors on March 15th, 1915. We were founded by this gentleman on your screen, Carl Lemley. Carl's dream was to create an entire city devoted to the art of filmmaking, where every step of the filmmaking process could happen in one place every day, and that is still what we are today. So we function very much like a city. We have our own zip code, 91608, if you're interested. We've got a sheriff station, medical services. We've got our first responders. We've got our very own fire station, Firehouse 51. That's not a movie set, that's a real fire station. And we function very much like a real city. The only difference between our city and your city, though, is nobody lives here. There's no residents of Universal City. The only thing that's here full-time is the movie studio, and like I said, we do every step of the filmmaking process here every day. Everything in pre-production before cameras roll, like writing the scripts, casting the actors, building the sets and costumes, all that good stuff. Everything after cameras roll, like editing, marketing, all that good stuff, sound effects, special effects. But really, the meat and potatoes of the movie-making business is production, the filming, when cameras are actually rolling, and much of that happens here on the lot as well. Most of it actually happens inside kind of unimpressive, nondescript buildings like this. This is Soundstage 12. It's one of our 36 sound stages. Soundstage 12 is our oldest and our biggest. You can see on the front door Frankenstein filmed in there. Take a look at your screens to see a few other iconic productions that filmed inside Soundstage 12 over the years. Now what's great about Soundstages is they are basically large, empty warehouses. Soundstage 12, for example, is 28,000 square feet. They kind of range from about 10 to 30,000 square feet. And you can see inside a few of the open soundstage doors over here. We build our sets kind of like you would build your sets for a stage show. Everything's made out of plastic, plywood, and plaster because they're temporary. They're meant to go up quickly and down quickly. They're not really meant to last a very long time. These sound stages here have been used for things recently like Bel Air, our reboot of The Fresh Prince of Bel Air, which streams on Peacock. Hacks on HBO Max, starring Emmy Award winner Gene Smart. TV shows like Loot. But Soundstage 7 here has been used for some iconic films over the years. Most iconically, perhaps, the 1960 classic Psycho. It's directed by Alfred Hitchcock. The iconic shower scene from Psycho was filmed inside Soundstage number 7. But don't worry, I won't spoil it. I'll just say the shower scene. If you know, you know. Now, we're driving by a base camp. Base camp is sort of a center of operations for various productions. This is the base camp for Bel Air. So you can see this is where they have their actor trailers, restrooms, costume trailers, makeup trailers. Their utility vehicles as well that bring all of the set pieces and the lights over here. This might be where they cast and crew park as well. And it's also, most importantly, where catering is. So it's kind of the main central hub. Soundstage 14 here is also used for Bel Air. It's where the Bel Air Academy is built inside, but it's used for iconic Universal productions like Apollo 13. This is where we built NASA's Mission Control. It was also used for the original Jurassic Park film. It was the jungle sets when Dr. Grant and Tim are climbing through the tree before the Jeep crushes them. That was actually filmed right there inside Soundstage 14. The new Jurassic Park, starring Scarlett Johansson and Jonathan Bailey, is coming out this summer, which is very exciting. We love Jonathan Bailey. He just starred in Wicked for us, and Wicked Part 2 comes out in November. Oh, I know, that is a big woo. I agree. Now we've got a few more sound stages coming up on your right-hand side. We call these our Sitcom Alley. This is where a lot of classic NBC TV shows have filmed over the years. Coach, Columbo, Murder, She Wrote, iconic TV shows. More modern classics like Sabrina the Teenage Witch, The Good Place, Never Have I Ever. Based on a true story recently filmed in these sound stages. The Mindy Project, The Good Place, if you're a fan of The Good Place. Did my micro? There it is. Another base camp for the TV show Loot. Streams on Apple TV featuring Saturday Night Live alum Maya Rudolph. And Soundstage 19, the last soundstage coming up on your right, is where we filmed scenes for one of our most recent Best Picture winners, Oppenheimer, directed by Christopher Nolan. Now coming up on your left are a group of small buildings known as the Bungalows, and here to tell us a little bit more about the Bungalows are the cast of the upcoming How to Train Your Dragon movie.
Hey there, Studio Tour. I'm Jared Butler.
I'm Mason Thames.
And I'm Nico Parker.
You know, these bungalows to your left are actually production offices.
Home to some of Hollywood's biggest filmmakers, including Mark Platt, one of the producers of our new live-action movie, How to Train Your Dragon.
Everyone wave. You might be there right now.
And if you haven't already, be sure to meet the iconic and beloved Toothless over in the closet.
And see our movie only in theaters June 13th. Get your tickets now.
But in the meantime, here's a sneak peek.
Everything we know about dragons is wrong.
You ready? Watch out!
How to Train Your Dragon. Rated PG. In theaters June 13. Get tickets now.
You can even see How to Train Your Dragon in IMAX as you're meant to see it up at the Universal City Walk AMC. But yes, Mark Platt produced How to Train Your Dragon, and his offices are right down there. You can see people outside Mark Platt's offices. Mark Platt is also the producer of Wicked and Wicked Part 2. Some of the more iconic legends who've worked inside of these bungalows include Paul Newman, Joanne Woodward, Lucille Ball, and the owner of 5195. You might be able to identify him by his silhouette painted on the side, the one and only Alfred Hitchcock, who directed, of course, Psycho, as well as Rear Window, Vertigo, and many, many others.
My name is Alfred Hitchcock.
Got a few more sound stages here on your left, 25 and 26. They've been home to iconic productions like Hairspray Live, featuring Wicked star Ariana Grande and Jennifer Hudson. But currently it is home to St. Denis Medical. St. Denis Medical, a workplace comedy produced by Justin Spitzer, which you can see the poster right there, brought to you by the same people who brought you Superstore, starring America Ferrera. It is streaming now on Peacock. Very, very funny show. It is set in an underfunded hospital in Oregon. It's a great thing about working in on a movie studio. You can go anywhere in the world in just a matter of moments. You've got small town Oregon right across the street from the big city. Now we're going to be driving past our city sets a couple times today. We're not able to drive through them today because, as I said, we're busy with a few productions on the lot today, but you'll get a good glimpse of our city sets as well. But from this vantage point, it's pretty nice to see the brick wall that we're currently parked behind. Just like the sets that we build in our sound stages, they're made entirely out of plywood, plaster, plastic, lightweight, inexpensive materials. So as we drive by our city sets, you'll notice there's not a single real brick or piece of concrete in the whole makeup. They're all what we call facades, which is a fancy way of saying we only build the front and the sides. It's the only thing the camera is going to see. If we want to film scenes inside the buildings, we create those sets inside the sound stages that we just drove through. Now, our metro sets have served as basically every big city in the world. They've served as New York. They've served as San Francisco for Dirty Harry. They served as Los Angeles for Transformers, directed by Michael Bay. Now, you can do pretty much whatever you want to our sets. Every movie studio, Disney, Marvel, they all come and film on our lot, and you can do basically whatever you want. We're a giant rental facility. The only thing is you have to put everything back to the way you found it. We made one exception for that. When Michael Bay came to direct Transformers, he wanted to blow up our entire metro city sets, and we said no. Well, originally he wanted to blow up actual buildings in downtown Los Angeles. They also said no. So what Michael Bay did was, on top of our facades, he built his own facades, and he blew them up. And if your question is, were they still running trams during that time? Yes, we always run trams. We are always running tours, whether or not they're filming. So those people, they got a glimpse of something pretty rad that day. We also, as I mentioned, film reality TV shows down here. So if you're a fan of American Ninja Warrior, anytime Akbar Bajabiamila tells you, we're coming to you live from downtown Los Angeles, he is lying to you. They are coming to you neither downtown nor technically in Los Angeles. He's coming to you live. Well, also not even live. They pre-tape them from our New York City street here at the Universal lot. Go figure. Now we are passing one of my favorite things here on your right. This is our iconic monster mural dedicated to our Universal monsters, the original stars of Universal Studios. In the 1930s and 40s, they kept us afloat during an economically stressful time in the country. These were some of the biggest movies of the decades. Movies like Dracula with Bela Lugosi, Frankenstein with Boris Karloff, The Bride of Frankenstein with Elsa Lanchester. They were the movies that put us on the map as one of the most iconic film studios. There's Soundstage 30 and 31 that I was mentioning earlier, where we film The Voice. We're driving by some production at our underwater tank. So for scenes that need to take place underwater, we use this underwater tank. We can fill it up with water, and then we actually have portholes attached to the side that we can open and put the camera up to, so we can film our actors underwater. I can't tell you what they're filming there today, but I can tell you episodes of Seinfeld, when Seinfeld and Kramer are stuck in the Hudson River. They used our underwater sets. There's Soundstages 32 and 33, where Reba filmed. right across from a body of water that we call Park Lake. Park Lake is also known as the Hollywood Ocean because we can actually convince you that this teeny little lake is the big wide ocean. It's a pretty simple technique we use called forced perspective utilizing miniatures. You can see it here in this scene from King Kong in 2005, directed by Peter Jackson. For the approach to Skull Island, we used a miniature boat and a miniature island and a fog machine and put the camera right up close, and on screen it looks like a full-size boat and a full-size island. Old school filming technique that they've been using since the 1920s. And it still looks pretty good to this day, but the smallest thing can ruin it. That's right, King Kong is meant to be the only monster patrolling the waters of Skull Island. It was also the Amazon River for the creature from the Black Lagoon, one of our iconic universal monsters, as well as the Mississippi River for Showboat. Well, this is very exciting, everyone. As I said, we've got a few top secret things filming on the lot today. We are actually getting the opportunity to drive through one of their sets, which is pretty cool. I can't tell you what's filming in here, but it is built to look like an underground subway station, and because it has the train tracks, and you get a real feel for what production looks like. Now, you see all this equipment, all these lights, the costumes, the makeup, all the stuff that's out here. The only place they're actually filming is the ticket booth over there. You can see because that's what's lit right now, and if you look at the director's monitor, that's where they were filming scenes earlier today. So all of this equipment and stuff only to film that small section. This happens from time to time in California, folks. Nothing to worry about. It's usually over before you know it. So sit tight. Be honest, who knew that was going to happen when we drove in? Who didn't know because my acting was so convincing? Thank you. Thank you. I'll hand out my headshots and resumes at the end of the tour. Now, our Earthquake attraction was built in 1989. It's been a part of our tour for 36 years. It was built to commemorate the film Earthquake from 1977 with Charlton Heston, Richard Roundtree, and Ava Gardner. And it is an example of one of my favorite genres of movie, the star-studded disaster film. Films like The Poseidon Adventure with Ernest Borgnine and Gene Hackman, Earthquake, Airplane in 1970 and 1977. But perhaps the most iconic star-studded disaster movie comes from 1975. You can see the billboard for it right over here. It is what we refer to as the original blockbuster. It was the first movie released in the summer of 1975 that caused lines around the blocks at the movie theaters. I am, of course, talking about the iconic Jaws, directed by Steven Spielberg. And to commemorate Jaws, we keep a live great white shark on hand at all times. You might be thinking, that sounds dangerous, Michael. Well, don't worry. We have a trained diver in the water at all times, keeping that shark at bay. There he is right there. How's it going out there, George? I know it looks like George doesn't have this under control, but he does, don't worry. It takes a lot of guts to do what George does. I couldn't do it. Oh boy. There are those guts. Right there. Folks, don't worry. We take your safety very seriously. We're going to hide you behind this pier covered in gasoline. Should be fine. Looks like the shark is taking the bait attached to that barrel. Oh boy.
Size of the box office when Jaws first opened in June of 1975. And that was really the first time I ever got involved in the creation of a ride. It was a great honor to be invited into a creative circle of tremendous designers at Universal that were trying to figure out how to replicate what the movie had done to audiences in a real way by building a physical shark that would come out of the water and terrify tourists as they were sitting in the tram. And the most amazing thing about the Jaws ride is it is exactly as it was from the time it was first placed on the Universal lot. There have been tweaks.
It was first placed on the lot in the summer of 1976, the year after Jaws premiered. So Jaws is actually celebrating 50 years this summer. It is 50th anniversary, believe it or not. And 50 years later, people are still afraid to go to the beach, or at least I am. But it is not the oldest attraction here on the lot. That honor belongs to our weather demonstration out here in Old Mexico. A quaint little feature, but you know, it goes a long way. It's a beautiful day in sunny Southern California. This is what most of our days look like. But don't worry, we pay out the wazoo in taxes, so it's not worth it moving here. But how do we create weather for our films? Well, we have thunder and lightning done with a little strobe effect and speakers, and the rain is just a simple sprinkler system. That's all it takes to create a very convincing weather illusion. But the thing is, the rain can get a little out of control. We are at the bottom of a hill here, so too much rain can cause a problem. So I'm just going to cut the rain here before we move on. Now, Old Mexico has been home to an... Why isn't the rain stopping? This is this big red button, right? Oh, it's not the big red button. Oh, boy. Oh, that's not good. Oh boy. Congratulations, everybody. You just survived Flash Flood, which you can see here in Big Fat Liar with Frankie Muniz, Amanda Bynes, and Paul Giamatti.
Oh, that means fire. You can't run the whole kid. Yeah, we'll see about that. I don't know. Hey, you're funny, folks.
You can also see that Flash Flood in the music video for the legend herself, Lady Gaga. She filmed her Judas music video right in the middle of that flash flood. And unlike Paul Giamatti, she stood tall, in heels, didn't fall once. Happy Pride, everyone. Now we are heading up a street called Steven Spielberg Drive. It is the longest street on our back lot. We name all of our streets after the legends and the icons who've worked here over the years. And of course, the longest street dons the name Steven Spielberg Drive. What is the shortest street called? Don't worry about it, it's none of your business. That is between us and Jay Leno. You don't need to worry about it. But we are heading up Steven Spielberg Drive because Steven Spielberg's impact on the lot cannot be overstated. But did you know we have influenced Steven Spielberg as much as he has influenced us? Here to tell you a little bit more about it is the man himself.
My entire career began with my relationship with Universal Studios just as a high school kid on a tour bus. Remember, in those days there weren't trams, there were buses called the Gray Line Tour Bus. And I was so excited and thrilled to be on the lot. This was my first time ever on a movie studio lot. And during a bathroom break, I hid in the bathroom, and when everybody left to get back on the bus, I waited another 15 minutes until I'm sure the bus left, and then I had the entire lot to myself that day. And in those days, movie lots were so crowded because all movies were made on film lots. Today they're made all over the world, on locations, but most of it was focused in those days, in the 60s, on the film lots. So nobody noticed me when I was going around from soundstage to soundstage, and I really felt, in my own young way, I owned the lot and had the most amazing day of my life.
Now that street that we just drove by that you saw that crane operating on, that is the former Wisteria Lane. We call it Colonial Street because it's been home to a number of productions over the years, including Desperate Housewives, but it's also where we filmed the original Burbs with Tom Hanks, Carrie Fisher, and Corey Feldman. It's where we filmed Casper the Friendly Ghost with Christina Ricci. It's where Smash Mouth filmed their all-star music video. We set one of those houses on fire. Nelly and Kelly Rowland. This is the music video where Kelly Rowland is texting somebody, but she's texting on Microsoft Excel because it's like 1999 and nobody knows how phones work. It's a pretty great piece of cinematic history. Now, as we were driving up the hill, you might have seen we drove by a garbage truck and a police car. Those seem like interesting vehicles to be parked on a movie lot. Well, those are vehicles that are being used for the Burbs. We call them picture cars. A picture car is any vehicle, plane, train, or automobile that appears on screen. And we've got a few of our favorite picture cars right around the corner over here. You can actually see one of the original Universal Glamour trams that we started driving in 1964. You can see a gyrosphere from Jurassic World, a self-driving Jeep from Jurassic Park. You can see cars from Back to the Future, the Smythe's piano service car from Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Mr. Bean's car, the Mini Coupe. One of the Ford Anglias that Ron and Harry drive in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, as well as many, many cars from the Fast and Furious franchise. And Bumblebee, that is right, Bumblebee is sitting next to Barricade, a Decepticon, but just like actors in Hollywood, they're best friends when the cameras aren't rolling. Now, these cars were supposed to get picked up by the drivers a while ago, but I haven't seen them since they checked into this motel. We do have a motel here on the lot if you're looking to stay. I'm pretty sure they have vacancies, 12 cabins, 12 vacancies. I'll just check in with the owner if he's around. Now, I'll be honest, the owner of this hotel, super hands-on service. Oh, here he is, Norman. He owns this hotel with his mother who lives in the house up the hill. I haven't seen the mother in a long time though. But Norman's just cleaning out one of these cabins for the next guest to enter. Look at that, he is even helping this woman to her car. Isn't that nice? You don't get service like that anymore. Helping her to the trunk of her car. Oh boy. Oh boy, we better get out of here. Pedal to the middle, Audra. Woo! That got close. Pretty close. Now, the Bates Motel was actually built in the 1980s and it was used for the Psycho sequels, but the house coming up on your left was built in 1959. This is the original house from the film Psycho. And if you look in the top right-hand window, you can even see Mother rocking away in her rocking chair. Now, if you're wondering what happened to make Norman go so psycho, now you know. It's this terrible accident that happened in his backyard. This incredible set is left over from Steven Spielberg's 2005 thriller epic War of the Worlds. And it was designed by Rick Carter.
The airplane is perfect example of a set that is all designed around a vision.
Things that sit down and talk about War of the Worlds. I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in the
because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. Thank you for kissing me. Listen, I want you to close your eyes, okay? Now closed. Robbie, get in.
Now the reason this set is so impressive is because it features a real 747. That is a real plane. It is not made out of plywood and plaster like most of our sets. They purchased that plane after it was retired. So it used to fly, carry passengers, the whole deal. But once it reached its maximum number of flight hours, they retired it and sent it to an airplane graveyard. And that is where Steven Spielberg and Paramount purchased it for $60,000. which doesn't sound like a whole lot, right? You could buy a Tesla for more than $60,000. But don't worry, they got them in the shipping and handling. To get it here, they had to chop it up into 4 pieces, put it on the back of flatbed trucks, transport it in the dead of night, set it up here on the back lot. It added $200,000 to the bill. So that's nearly $250,000 spent on a single prop used in the movie for less than 3 minutes. That's the kind of cachet you have when you're an auteur director like Steven Spielberg. Steven Spielberg continues to inspire the next generation of filmmakers, including someone we're happy to be working with, Jordan Peele, who also made an Alien film a few years ago, Nope! And we are driving through the sets from Nope right now, and here to tell us a little bit more about it is the man himself.
Movie magic only happens when a team of collaborators, often in the hundreds, work together to take an impossible mission and bring it to life. This is Jupiter's Claim, a nostalgic, small-time Southern California amusement park owned by former child star Ricky. Over there, look into the winking well and have your picture taken just like the kids in that old 90s movie Kid Sheriff. That's what this whole place is loosely based on. Remember that one? No? Why? A little further down, you will see the brand new Star Lasso experience. Built to showcase an unbelievable new live show. It's only live anymore. And welcome to the world of No.
Now be honest, how many of you felt the hairs on the back of your neck stand up? How many got goosebumps? How many got a little creeped out by that? But did you notice nothing actually happened, right? There was no animatronic, there was nothing. All of that tension building was done using sound design. And it's one of those unspoken, subliminal things that you might not pick up on when you're watching movies. Sound, color, light, those all impact your experience as the audience member, and as you imagining something much scarier than the filmmakers could actually show you. It was a technique used by Steven Spielberg for Jaws, and it was a technique copied by Jordan Peele for Nope, and the sound design was done by a guy named Johnny Byrne, who is the coolest name in all of Hollywood. And next time you're watching a horror movie or a tense movie, pay attention to things like sound and color and how far they go. Because when you think of movies, sometimes you just think of the actors or maybe the directors, but there's so many more people behind the scenes, like the sound designers, the costumers, the lighting technicians, who go so above and beyond creating the experience for you, the audience. Now we're driving by one cool final feature here on the tour, this big blue wall here. It is the largest blue screen in all of Hollywood. Now a blue screen or a green screen sometimes are used for digital effects. You can add a digital background for your film without messing with your actors, right? Because people tend to not be blue and green, so you can really do whatever you want with your background without impacting your actors too much. It's been used for iconic scenes like the end of the Truman Show when Jim Carrey sails his boat to the edge of his fake world and bumps into the wall. That was the wall right there. You can see it here used in The Incredible Hulk. It was also used in Sully, starring Tom Hanks, when he landed the plane on the Hudson. We put a real plane in that big pit. We filled that pit up with about 3 million gallons of water. And for the background, we would add the New York coastline or the New Jersey coastline, depending on what angle the camera was facing. It's also where we film music videos. Beyonce filmed her Formation music video out there for her Renaissance album. And I'm dating myself here, it's also where TLC filmed their music video for Waterfalls. That's right. Yes! I love that of all the titles that I've mentioned so far on this tour, TLC's Waterfalls is what got the biggest reaction. That's how I know I like you guys. Now, I hope you've enjoyed the tour. Please, next time you're here at Universal Studios, definitely don't skip the tour, because the tour changes all the time. We're always filming new things out here. And we've got one final thing to show you. Once we pass this green wall, take a look to your right, and you're going to see an incredible view of the San Fernando Valley. And now you know, when people say Hollywood, they're not talking about the neighborhood that's on the other side of the hill here, right? Hollywood is an actual neighborhood. It's where all the tourist traps are. It's where the Mickey Mouses charge you $15 to take a picture with them. You don't want to go there. Hollywood, where the movies are made, is right here in the San Fernando Valley. You can see us here. Right next door is our partner studio, Warner Brothers. They've brought you things like Barbie. They brought you things like Sinners, recently released, a Ryan Coogler film starring Michael B. Jordan. They're also responsible for Harry Potter. They share Harry Potter with us. And right behind them, there's a tiny little white building with a green roof. It kind of looks like a cheese grater. That is Disney ABC Animation. So your favorites like Moana and Frozen, they've all come from that tiny little building. Other studios out here include Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, CBS Radford, all right here in this mile stretch of the San Fernando Valley. And we like to say they all look up to us here at Universal Studios because we are on a mountain, and that's my last terrible joke. Now, as driving past the Norman Bates house, right? And we're coming up the hill, and out of the Psycho house, the actual house, comes running somebody dressed as Mother with the wig, holding a knife, screaming, and they jump on the tram, and they terrify the guests and the driver and the guide, and everyone's freaked out, and then they run off and disappear into the wilderness, and everyone's like, what just happened? And it wasn't until later that day that we found out it was actually an actor taking a break from filming, and that actor was Jim Carrey. He was here filming Man on the Moon, and he took a break from filming and decided to fool around with the studio tour a little bit. There was also a tram that had an accident with a Mercedes-Benz driving at high speed down the road, and the driver of that Mercedes-Benz, John Travolta. He had just finished a long day of filming, and he was late to get to a dinner, and he accidentally crashed into a tram. My buddy Chris was actually the guide of that tour, and Chris said, the Mercedes didn't start. The tram was fine. The Mercedes, though, fell to pieces. And my friend Chris actually grabbed the little Mercedes-Benz logo from John Travolta's car. But you didn't hear that from me. Okay, we are shortly making our way back to our unload area. We hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. If you have any questions for me, I'll be out by the directory. But if you're heading up to the theme park, do make sure you download the Universal Studios Hollywood app. That way you can get a park map, you can see the wait times, you can mobile order food, you can see show times for Waterworld, all that good stuff. Once again, my name has been Michael. Your driver has been Audra. We hope you have an amazing rest of your day here at Universal Studios Hollywood, and we will see you guys again at the movies.
Dream lasting often.
Perfect facility then.
I did see a post the other day.
But I tell all young boys and girls who pass through Hogwarts, there comes a time when all of us must make a choice between good or strong. And yours is easy. Here's hoping you choose correctly. Now, you're about to enter the Defense Against the Dark Arts Hospital.
I'm only knows what these spells you say.
Well, you're making it snow again.
Why does that always happen? Come on, puberty.
Monsieur Jinx Picato.
I still can't believe you let Alana talk since using invisibility to all three of us.
What's your suggestion, Ron?
Keep it down, you two. This will work fine if you stop bickering.
Excuse me, we thought some of you might be looking for a way to escape Professor Bean's lecture. If you're not, you're mental.
Not that the subject isn't fascinating. Personally, I recommend Bethilda Badger's Hogwarts history.
No one else has read that book, Mike.
For your information, it happens to be, by general consensus, the definitive volume on Hogwarts.
Also, sounds to be dead boring.
As is Professor Ben's. Very boring.
How exceptionally dead. He's a ghost. He fell asleep in front of a classroom fire, woke up the next day to teach, and left his body behind.
He's still very sound on history, though.
And as an added bonus, you can enter the classroom through the blackboard.
Anyway, we thought you might rather watch the game of Quidditch than listen to Ben's, but we'll have to sneak you out of the castle and down to the pitch, and we reckon the best way of doing that is to fly you there.
All you have to do is follow his room of requirement, and I'll manage it from there. Of course, we'll need a bit of magic. A charm I learned from a world-class Quidditch player.
Hermione's names.
Yes. We thought it takes for cantrip.
Just try to do that.
Remember, meet Hermione in the room of requirements.
See, Ron, everything worked out perfectly.
Perfect. Except I'm stuck in his cloak with you.
Your voice is down, they'll try to hear us.
Ron, you're despicable.
Don't worry, there's room for all at the match. If I weren't so busy, I'd ask some of you to carry my picture down to the stands. My press never stopped talking about Potter's Quidditch skills. I'd really rather see for myself. Come here, Gilford now. Don't you, Danny? Ah, Gryffindor!
I remember the day after the party with the ladies for a spin in the night. I knew they landed, and the one back too. I will now continue my review of the unique characteristics of enchanted bench.
And I will remind you that etiquette is everything as important once in the air as it is on the ground.
And I'll tell you what it feels like to go blasting through a cloud on one of these benches. The information I'm being imparted is very important, young man. I beg you not to interrupt. Who do you think you're going to listen to? You two? Or someone who's actually taken these benches on test flights and lived to tell the tale? Fine young Hogwarts student by the name of Hermione Granger has been gracious enough to cast a flying trap on the enchanted benches. While you're quite safe, each bench possesses a mind of its own and can shoot up into the sky without notice or stop on the sickle at any moment. Therefore, it's not recommended for those with neck or back problems, personally subject to motion sickness, or anyone who is pregnant.
Stone them, one and all. To keep your treasures safe and sound, smart lockers are supplied. Greenworks made and wizard-proofed for all you need.
Beware, the forest in the ground is forbidden to all cheats. There's nothing that lives in the forest that will hurt you if you're with me or mine. The best piece of the past.
Step on the way. Thank you.
Bow your head.
What this ride is.
Ah, sí, sí lo ven, pero... O sea, que en la realidad quién sabe cómo sea. Chesco, ¿no?
cheetah! That was crazy. Oh, Oh, nice! Hey, what's up, girl? Hello, kitty. Hey, can I trust you if you see any humans out there doing bad things to animals?
Universal Studios Hollywood. As you approach the turnstiles, please have your tickets